Hey guys,
welcome back to Plots with a Twist,
where we discuss books,
amongst other things.
And we're a little late, but we're doing our wrap up for the month of November and our TBR for the month of December, Christmas month, holidays.
Can you guys believe we have one more month left in 2020?
Right.
It's crazy.
So let's get into it. All right. So I had a good, cute little reading month.
You start. Do two at a time.
Okay. Do two at a time?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had a cute little reading month. I plan to read a lot more, but what I read was substantial. It feels
some
me.
good stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it.
All right, so I'll leave that one for you. So the first thing I read was Lovecraft Country by Ruff, right? So I wanted to go ahead and read that before I watch the show, just so I can kind of separate the two, but still receive both of them. And I like to read books first before watching the show. So that one was about, so it was basically a lot of like interlocking short stories set around these main, like these group of characters. So, had heavy themes of racism, of course, throughout the story, but it focused on the main character, his connection to, his family connection to this rich guy, and the rich guy's being involved in a secret society, basically. And each story is little stories that all connect to this greater organization and what happened between that organization or that secret society and how it relates to these characters. So that's really the gist of it. So I thought this book was okay. At first I was like a little disturbed because I feel like when I read about racism, I always get a little,
it always triggers you a little bit.
Yeah, it's like,
understandably so.
Dare you?
Yeah.
So, and I think Asia mentioned it, that the fact that also the author was white, and it's like,
I just didn't know that before prior to the show, because I heard about the show first, and then of course found out it was a book, and then when I saw the book, I was like, it's a white man. But of course, I mean,
I don't mind that.
Yeah, I just was surprised.
But it does kind of take you back, like, what you know about?
Right.
But it was all okay as far as the storytelling, the writing. I was able to like follow along a bit. There was it felt like some details was missing a little bit, so it felt like it went from point A to C, and you're like, wait, where's B? So that was just a little bit sprinkled throughout the story, but I did like the idea of having these kind of shorter stories that related versus it being this one continuous story. That kept me a little bit more engaged. So overall, I just thought it was okay. Read, a solid read. So if you're interested in reading it, I'd say go ahead and check it out. So Lovecraft did that one.
What'd you rate it? I'm just interested for myself.
I think I rated it like a 3. Because it wasn't like great, but I did watch the first episode of the show. I can tell the show is going to be a little bit better, but it wasn't bad. Like, I'm not mad I read it. I'm not
was
mad.
The subject matter something you would have read if it wasn't a show that we were trying to like talk about?
Yeah. I don't know when, but I probably would have been interested. It's not heavy on the sci-fi. It's not heavy on the Lovecraftian horror that's usually attached to Lovecraft type books, but I think it was a good enough story where I would probably check it out if the show didn't exist. So
okay, what else you read?
2. So the other one I read was, I'll do my 2. Okay, so Anxious People by Fredrik Backman. So y'all know he is near and dear to my heart. Had to check out his latest book. So Anxious People, did not know what it was about, but it's basically about a bank robbery gone wrong that turns into a hostage drama, and just this whole hostage situation, these people coming together or being stuck in this weird situation, as well as the police trying to figure out what happened and how did this even get to a point where it turned into a hostage situation. So in that, you meet kind of heartwarming, funny characters. You know what I thought about? Do you watch Bob's Burgers?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I feel
I haven't watched it lately,
I feel like they could do a whole Bob's Burgers type movie with that book. Like, that's what I kept seeing the characters as, like, Bob's Burgers characters. Just because it was, like, really funny. Yeah. Really heartwarming, really touching, and that's the feels I get when I watch Bob's Burgers. Because it's a really good cartoon.
Yeah, it is. I like Bob's Burgers.
But yeah, so I really, I mean, I have nothing bad to say about that book. It was awesome. I will say at first you're kind of like, where is it going? But once you already know Fredrik Backman is going to hit you in the heart. And once it starts to rolling and you see the unfolding of these people's lives and like the stories and how they're connected and
it takes you there.
I had some moments I was like,
I feel like all his books do, even though I've only read one.
Yes.
I feel like all his books give you
and
like
it's like
touching
it
moments.
gives you food for thought too, because he says little things that you're like, oh, that is so true. So highly recommend Anxious People by Fredrik Backman. So now you.
Okay. So I also read some of Anxious People. Anxious People by Fredrik Backman, but I didn't get all the way through it, but that's definitely still on my list because much like Kristin, I love him, love his writing, so definitely want to finish that. But the only book that I read this month, guys, is Furia. Furia by Yamile, Saied, Méndez, which we've already had have a book review up about that. So of course we'll link that below for you guys and check out our full thoughts on the story and what it was about. But basically it's just about a young woman who is a soccer player who's basically trying to not escape but get up from the grasp of her overprotective and just like weird family. Not weird, but you know what I'm trying to say. So, but we, like I said, we have a whole book review on that, so you guys can check that out. And I think I gave it 5 stars. I said in the thing. Yeah, I really enjoyed the story and just like it was a young adult book, so I felt like it was really, I had some good. It was a good story for like young women and young adolescent people to read. So that was my one read of the month, y'all. I'm gonna get back on track.
That's okay.
I know. Okay. I'm just saying for the people because I do want to provide you guys content and stuff. But your girl been busy. Like it's been a lot. It's a lot of holidays and birthdays and all stuff. I'm not in the streets. It's a pandemic. I'm not out in the streets. But yeah. So. But yeah, so that's my read for this month. Okay, so what else did you read, Kristin?
All right, so I also read Furia, and my last read I read, I'm just going to count it for November, was Greenlights by Matthew McConaughey.
So jealous, y'all.
So I listened to, all these books I listened to on audiobook, but I especially wanted to listen to this one on audiobook because I just love his voice.
I was going to say, I'm so glad he narrated it.
Yeah. And so his voice already, and he infuses so much personality, and it's like he's having a conversation with you. It's so good. So if you don't know, Greenlights is it came out a couple of months ago, I think, but it's his little, not even really a memoir. He even says that it's not a memoir. It's not a life story. It gives him stories throughout his life of green light moments where he just pressed the gas and went. So he takes the time to break down little moments in his life that may have caused certain events, like maybe his first acting gig and how he even, came up with his infamous all right line.
He talks about that?
Yeah, a little bit. He talks about that. He even touches on meeting his wife. He touches on a lot of things. He touches on his family. Yeah, so it is an excellent book. It has a lot of great anecdotes, a lot of great advice, just little one-liners that just kind of like hit you like, okay.
Did you feel inspired after reading it?
Yes, I felt inspired. I felt because he talks about green lights, but he talks about sometimes yellow and red lights are green lights. Like he puts a lot of things in perspective. It is hearty. It is good. It was delightful. It was something that Asia chose, and I was like, I'll get on board because trying
you
to
like
read the
Matthew
same
McConaughey,
thing. Right? And I like him, but it's like.
I read the review. Oh, go ahead.
No, you always want to put him in the category of kind of like not being intellectual, or maybe me.
Who, Matthew McConaughey, or just actors?
Actors sometimes. But him in particular, I think he says that like his roles really don't fit the person he is, and that's kind of where he stumbled in his career. He was doing a lot of roles that didn't fit his personality or the person he was striving to be, and so it was just very well written. And then the audio, I got it through the Libby app, but I'm going to buy the audio. Like, I want it in
giving
my
you that,
pocket
huh?
always. Yes, it was so good. So, Greenlights, I would highly recommend it.
I suggested it, y'all.
Yes, but you said just reading the reviews and what?
Oh, I was just saying that in reading the reviews, because I knew as soon as Matthew McConaughey was coming out with a book, I said, "Oh, I'm reading that."
Mm-hmm.
But I looked at the reviews and everybody was saying like he's such a good storyteller, and it's just like not even off the hype of just him being Matthew McConaughey. Like he's really like it was just a really good book.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm excited. I want to read it. So
It was a really well put together
and
book and a really well narrated book.
Good.
He was laughing, like it was like he was telling these stories like to you, and you're like, "Am I even? Is this a podcast? Is this
Right.
like a monologue? Like, yeah, it didn't even feel like you were listening to a book." So.
Yeah. Okay, that's dope. I can't wait to read it.
All right, so that's
it for the month, y'all. What we read for November.
So December.
Yes.
Let's get into what we're reading for the month of December. How many books you got? Do you have any?
Yes. Why you trying to come for me? Hold on. 3, because that's my goal.
So the first book I will be reading for the month of December, I haven't started it yet. I know it's a couple of days into the month, but I'll get to it. I'm gonna get to it. The Mothers by Brit Bennett. So The Vanishing Half was awesome. So we wanted to go back and check out her other book, and so I was able to get it on hold. I don't actually know what it's about, but I've heard
I can't remember
great things about it, so I'm looking forward to reading that this month.
Okay. I would also like to read that, but I didn't get it available yet. So if it comes this month, then I'll definitely read it. But I'm going to be reading His Only Wife by Peace Adzo Medie. I think that's how you say it. Peace Adzo Medie. But I believe it's a new book, and I'm not sure exactly what it's about either. But I believe it's like about a woman being left at the altar, and it goes into like a story. So yeah, that's all I saw in the synopsis, and I've been seeing it around. I think I saw it on Reese's book club or whatever. So yeah, I want to go ahead and read that because the cover intrigued me because I be judging books by a cover because it's nice and colorful. And I don't know if this is like this author's debut or anything, but I've never heard of her before. So
the cover looks like one of those old school books, like you see in your grandmother's or
like little patches
or
like the colors. Yeah, I like it.
All right, so I tried to avoid this book at all costs. I did. I'd see it at Goodwill sometimes. And I don't know what made me give in. I think a lot of people start saying like it's their favorite book ever. And I was like, you know what?
You know what's crazy? I think I have that book. I think I own it. I'm going to look after this video.
But that is The Nightingale by Kristin Hannah. I don't know why I have been running from this book for so long. And I honestly don't know what it's about. Did you know what got me?
I have seen it everywhere too, though.
Yeah, you know what got me was a lot of people saying it was their favorite book, but also I think it's becoming either a movie or a limited series, something like that. And that really gets my juices going when I hear something's about to come to the screen. I'm like, yes, I need to read the book so I can sound like, ooh, I read the book before it's up there.
Right.
So yeah, I'm finally gonna give it a try. I always say I don't too much care for historical fictions, but some of my favorite reads are historical fictions. So yeah, that's probably one of the reasons I stayed away from it, but we'll try it out. So Nightingale.
Okay, so a book that I'm also going to be trying to read this month is Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. And Tiffany D. Jackson, we've read... What else did she do? She did
Monday's Not Coming.
Monday's Not Coming. I get her mixed up with the woman that does
The Hate You Give.
Yes, I do. So yeah, so I really enjoyed Monday's Not Coming, which we talked about in a previous video. So yeah, Grown, I believe is her most recent book. So yeah, gonna check that out.
Another book that I kept seeing everywhere, just didn't get it. I think it won a Goodreads award last year. So that is Ask Again Yes by Mary Beth Keane. Yeah, probably Keane. So I honestly don't know what it's about, but it was one of those that it was like one of the best debuts, I think, of 2019, I want to say. I could be lying. I make up a lot of stuff. You know what that one is about or no? But I just put it on hold, just trying to think of stuff to read. And I was like, you know what? Let's see if I'll get it. And I got it. So, got it this month. So, it will be read for December.
Okay. So the last book that I plan on reading, which I just stole off of Kristin's list like a few minutes before this video, but because I've seen this author a lot, like just around in the booktube world and just in general, but that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. And there was another book by this person, because I'm not sure if it's a man or woman, about like superheroes that I wanted to read. We'll look it up later. But yeah, so I've been wanting to read this author for a while. I'm not sure what this book is about either. But yeah, so
yeah, I will be joining her on that as well. So that's pretty much it.
Yes.
So I think we're trying to not be as ambitious with our lists, because we'll be reading.
This is ambitious for me, but not even. I just feel like this year's been a lot, guys. Just for everybody.
Yeah, for
just
everybody,
as a world, as a
everything.
nation, as a world, as
Trying to make some
entire-
adjustments.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that this is good for me. I hope that I really want to get through all the books, and I feel like this is a good little variety. It's like very much different stuff on here. So
Yeah,
I'm
I got some
excited
books
to
I
read
started that I want to finish, but
yeah, I
we'll
need to
talk about
finish
that in another
Lovecraft
day.
Country and Anxious People, because I started both of those and didn't finish them, but
all right, so let us know what you guys are reading. Leave
Yes.
some comments below. Let us
Please.
know any thoughts on anything we've mentioned in this video. Like this video, subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll be back next time. Bye.